we went into the state semifinals, and within 6 minutes, we're already down 1-0. And we just had a terrible first half. And I think we were down 2-0 by half. And we talked to them, and we kind of got them functioning and playing a little smoother in the second half, but we still ended up losing 3-0 in our first state semifinal. It was a major disappointment. We thought we were prepared. And as you look back, where was the mistake? How did we go wrong?
Hey, Pat. Hey, man. Welcome back.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Good, brother. Good. So, our last discussion we were talking about, championship mentality, and we are with our series for mindset, right? With these various subtopics. And I really love what we talked about with the championship mentality. You talked about the successes, obviously from being a soccer champion, coaching a team, mentoring, what that looked like the day of, getting prepared. But one thing we didn't talk about, and also it's a hard thing for folks to identify, is let's talk about the topic of embracing failure and failing forward, right? There's things I've heard you talk about before, people that you've coached up, you've mentored your teams, people that you already are working with in business and whatnot. What I think would be great to know is, tell us a little about a loss that changed how you coach. This would be an interesting thing because that's something a lot of folks don't talk about.
Yeah. Fail forward's a big piece of, I think, a championship mindset, right? And it's embracing the failures as lessons in life, right? Lessons in your craft and how you move forward to get stronger. And there was a big moment. So in our league, we tried to fight for a state title on state playoffs. And one of the first times that we got to the Final Four, we were really excited, had a strong team. And the approach was, let's prepare for all the details that we might face in this moment, right? And we discussed on the last conversation about how preparation is key. Well, there is a thing as over-preparing. And what we end up doing is giving way too much information about every little detail that it just overloaded the brains of the players, and they got anxious and they got stiff. And we went into the state semifinals, and within 6 minutes, we're already down 1-0. And we just had a terrible first half. And I think we were down 2-0 by half, and we talked to them, and we kind of got them functioning and playing a little smoother in the second half, but we still ended up losing 3-0 in our first state semifinal. It was a major disappointment. We thought we were prepared. And as you look back, where was the mistake? How did we go wrong? And I realized that it was the overload of information. It was the building up of this soccer match as so big that you have to be so prepared that it made everybody tight and anxious. And that was a huge lesson for how do you approach a championship moment. And what I learned in that moment is that we actually have to calm them down. We have to make them feel comfortable and confident in their preparation. It's not the preparation leading to that game. It's the preparation over the entire season that allows you to just relax and be confident in your skills. And so the next time we got to the Final Four, took an opposite approach and was like, you got this. Trust your training, trust your preparation, trust all of your experience over the season. And that caused them to have a really calm mindset and allowed us to perform to our maximum potential. And we won our first state title, and it was pretty exciting. And it was a perfect example of the fail forward culture of just embracing those mistakes as growth.
Love that. And one thing that resonates with me, and I'll share this later, is like you said, it was the over preparation. It wasn't just like, hey, do what got you here already. Do it like you just said, like the second time around, you guys got your first championship, first chip, and you learn from it, right? But you don't know until you do it, until you learn it, right? And I like that, and being able to learn and embracing the failure and what were the lessons learned, right? Now think about this one. How would you get a player or a team to treat a mistake as data, learning datas, right? Instead of a verdict on who they are? Because similar to what you just said about embracing failing forward, right? So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think that the way you have to look at all things that happen in life is that they are not net neutral or they're not net positive or negative. They're actually neutral. And it's your frame that you put on it that determines how it feels, right? You got two teams competing. One team wins, one team loses. Was it good or was it bad? Well, it kind of depends on who you ask, right? And so when I work with players, what I try to help them learn is that this is not a failure. This is not a judgment on who you are as a person or a piece of what your character is. What this is just something that happened. And now what's a judgment of your character is, what do you do next? How do you respond to that moment? Are you resilient? Do you take it as a piece of information that's going to teach you and help you get stronger so that you can attack that challenge again? Or do you take it as judgment on yourself and your ability? And I think those players that can shift their mindset to that just embraces that moment as data so that we can learn and grow from it are the ones that propel even higher than those that just look at it as a judgment of themselves.
Yeah. And that is a great point you make, right? It's the, it's embracing is the message that's loud and clear here. And, something I'll share, from my perspective too is, it wasn't always, roses and just everything was great, right? For me, my experience, I've had anyone that tells you they haven't failed at anything are either just stupidly lucky or they're just have unlimited money to begin with, right? And they could just toss it and throw it away. I didn't come up that way, but the failure, I've failed, and that's how you learn. I'd failed, for example, similar to what you said with over information, right? We were doing so much and tried to do so much at one time. We're like, wait a minute, we should just look at what we're good at right now and what we need to do. And I was a lesson learned from a previous experience with people who said, hey, we got to do this all done. It's got to be perfect. No, you don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. And I'm not here talking about just the creation of it, but I'm talking everyone wanted things to be perfect, doing more than what we were good at, right? So meaning you spread yourself thin, you start taking away from other things that you end up being really good at. So for me, that forced me to adjust, right? To keep it more organized, but also embracing the failure. A lot of people can't admit that. They don't want to say, hey, I failed at this or done it because they're feared they'll be judged. Actually, I commend people that are able to admit that, especially when I talk to clients or people that I work with, because I want to always ask people, what'd you learn from? And then I would also say that idea ties into what you just said, right? Embracing failure, fail forward. It's not just the founders, executives, even athletes. It's doing it in public, doing it, where you don't offend anybody, but you're also not beholden to say, oh, I just failed. No, you move forward, you grow from it. And to me, that's what I've observed, right? From others. And I think that is what is hard for others and something, you and I could share and others could share with other people that are listening to this right now,
Yeah.
So. I think that's critical.
We're human beings. We're not perfect, right? And I think that anybody that pretends to be is just hiding from themselves. And I try to take this lesson to myself in everything I do in life, not just soccer or business, or it's, I make a mistake with my daughter and how can I show up for her in a different way and be a better dad, right? Or, how do I approach a different challenge in life in a stronger way? And I think that's how you really grow as an individual as well. So, fail forward, fail often, folks, and embrace it.
And honestly, guys, again, subscribe. This is something we were talking about. This episode is embracing failure, fail forward. And we want to hear from you guys, engage with us, subscribe and get in and send us an email, drop us a note, right? And we want to hear from you. And also, this is something we're going to continue to do with our series. And, feel free to ask for some one-on-one time, one-on-one coaching with Pat, myself, and others that you're hearing here. But we want to thank you guys again for listening in, and we appreciate that follow. And on behalf of Pat, myself, we look forward to our next episode. We'll be talking about growth mindset outside your comfort zone. And look forward to getting that out. So thanks again, guys. And Pat, thank you.
Thank you.